Today I'm going to show you how to set up a reoccurring meeting in Zoom. So the first thing you want to do is log into your Zoom account on the web setting. So that's zoom.us and then go up to sign in. And when you sign in, this is the page you should see. So to set up my meeting, I'm going to come here to schedule a new meeting, which will bring up this page. And so from here, I'm going to go ahead and fill in all the stuff that I want to make sure pops up every single time I run this meeting. So because we are running a reoccurring meeting for mentoring every day at 7:30, I'm going to name this meeting mentoring. And then here I could enter in a description of what we'll be doing. You don't have to do that, that's optional. The first time that we want to run it is the very first day of school. So we're going to change it to the 31st. And then we want to make sure that we change the time here to 7:30 in the morning. And then because mentoring is half an hour, we're going to change it to a 30-minute meeting. Now, right underneath the time zone, you'll notice this checkbox which says reoccurring meeting. We're going to click on that. That's going to make it that this meeting and all the information with it will continue to reoccur and you don't have to change anything with it. And I'm going to change the reoccurrence from daily to no fixed time, because daily has a limit on it as to how many times you can run it before you have to re-enter your stuff. If you do no fixed time, that allows you to continuously reuse this meeting, and it also accounts for when we have days off from school. You don't have to worry about it. Basically, this will run whenever you want it to run. For meeting ID, I always use my personal meeting ID. That keeps it simple, keeps it consistent. That way, the students, once they know my personal ID meeting, they just use that same code over and over and over again. I don't ever change that. For security, I do always include the passcode, and I change it to something that, again, the kids are going to be able to remember. So I just use my name. And I enable the awaiting room. That way I can check to make sure the kids are coming in. For video, I want to make sure that both are on for both host and participants. That's going to require the students to actually have the camera on so we can see them and so we know it's actually them and they're just not logging in and falling back asleep. So video on for you as the host and video on for the participants. I do not enable the join before host option. That forces me to have to start the meeting first before any of the students can try and join in. If I were to enable that, students could join whenever they wanted to. I don't want that, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. You can click on the mute participants upon entry. That will automatically mute them as they come in. I leave that unmuted so that way I can have a quick conversation with them and then let them mute themselves. And I uncheck the record the meeting automatically. I don't record it using Zoom itself. I have a separate program that I will record necessary meetings in. And then we just go ahead and hit save. And then it'll just, once again, show us all of our information so that way we know it. So topic is mentoring. It's a reoccurring meeting. Meeting ID number. The passcode is what I entered it as. I enabled a waiting room. Here is the link to get into the room. And then just double checking that it's on for both video and participate. Now when I come back here to my meetings, you'll see that it pops up under reoccurring for mentoring. And then this is where I can start the meeting by just hitting start. Hopefully that helps you get set up for any reoccurring meetings. You can do this for more than just your mentoring. You can do this for all your classes if you want to make sure that the kids are checking in at a certain time every day, or just so that you have a meeting space already pre-designated for your classes. You can go through and do the same thing, labeling each one with the meeting ID, and maybe you change the passcode to whatever the class is, so that way you get the right students in. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.